Okay, so we got all the threads tied. It's fairly even in tension. We got it, we packed it at the beginning and to start the weave with toilet paper rather than fabric. Sometimes we use fabric. There was a problem here, but it's okay. And started with plain weave, and it's fairly straight, especially at the ends or the sides. So it looks like our second time got it going okay. So I started with that, then I did a hem about 1.5 inches of plain weave, and now I'm doing the twill for the tartan. And while it looks like it's working out in the middle, it's about a 45-degree angle for the twill, which is good. On the edges, oh, I don't know if you could see that. There. On the edges, there was a problem, and there's still a problem over. As you could see, it's bowed up a little bit, and that's because the selvage got drawn in, and that made it harder for it to pack. This side also had the problem right here, but trying to fix that, it's almost gone. So there's hope to that I'll get this first towel okay. Well, it'll be okay when it's cut off the loom, but there's hope that I'll get this better. It's not too far there, and when you beat or use the reed, you can see it's pulled out a little bit. So I'm about 3 pattern repetitions into the first towel, and a warp thread broke. So what I did was I lengthened the thread a little bit, and then I wove it back into a few threads into the towel so it was in the right spot, and then I tied it, and I put a nail in and attached it to a nail with a tied loop, and so that was about the same tension. And then I started weaving it back into the warp thread back into the fabric. So when it comes off the loom, I'll just cut it about right here, and I don't know if anybody will be able to tell unless they're looking, and even then it might be hard to find it. The weft shots are looking better than they were. They're almost straight now. I've been pulling the edges out a little bit and trying to be more careful of my edges, and it's helped get rid of that bowing up. So that's the progress today, September 27th. I've got a fabric square on so far, and I have about one or two more, probably 2 more pattern repetitions, and then I could weave the hem and start a new towel. So here's an update. It's November 4th. I've been working on part-time weaving for a month. Well, I started the warp about 2 months ago, almost. And we're almost done with the surviving warp. This This is the fourth towel that I've completed, or not completed. I've completed 3. Working on the 4th. I'm not sure there's enough warp for a 5th. This is I've been putting strings every repetition of the pattern, and that way I know I do about 5 repetitions long for each towel, and this is the 4th string I've put in, so this will be the last repetition before I put the hem on weave the hem into the towel with the plain weave. Now it's been eventful a little bit. I had the problems. I still have the problems with the edges, although they're not as bad as the beginning. And you can see not only is the 45-degree angle not or the twill pattern is kind of compressed over here due to the pulling, but also if you look compared to here, it's kind of bowed. Also so that's something that I've been trying to improve on. Another problem with this loom is that it turns out to have been damaged in a house fire that we had, and that was one cause. Another cause is that I'm right-handed, and I was pulling the beater with my right hand, and it was causing this side to be a little bit tighter, and so now I'm pulling with my left hand and just up to the side to compensate, and you can still see it's slightly diagonally, but this black line, but it's not as bad as it was before I figured out that the sword arm on the speeder is fractured, and I'll show that in just a minute. So here's the fractured sword arm for the beater, and you can see it's angled or warped right here, and that's because it got fractured. I'll try to zoom in so that see if maybe you can see this fracture that warped the beater. Maybe you can see it better if I move it this way. That's part of the reason why the weft has not been perfectly straight, but slightly at an angle, as I showed earlier. And here's the fabric that we've woven so far, and it goes back and forth a little bit. Partly it's due to my selvage, and partly I don't know what, it just goes back and forth. The whole fabric does. And here's the warp that's left, so we're almost done. So I'll probably finish this video and post it pretty soon, and then in a week or two, hopefully, we'll be able to pull it off and make another video about pulling the fabric off and showing the finished result.